Who do you believe is going to have the bigger impact in this game?
Oh, it's Micah Parsons. I don't think the Cowboys can win if Micah doesn't have a sensational football game. I just went on about how Kyle is going to at least try to impact and or affect him. But this is a guy that is the runaway defensive rookie of the year, and he was in the conversation and probably still is for defensive player of the year. He's so good when it comes to defending the run because of his speed. Right, so you're talking about a 49ers offense that likes to get the ball to the perimeter in their outside zone run game. If you don't get hands on Micah Parsons as an offensive line, and Woody, you know this better than anybody, it ain't going to happen for you as an offense. And then as a pass rusher, he could wreck games. And I try to do a good job when I'm on television of giving people offensive perspectives and what I would do if I was a play caller situations. I have no idea what I would do with Micah Parsons. I've tried to sit here and think about it, and I don't know how I would try to handle him because I think he's that, I don't want to say impossible of a player to try and slow down and stop, and I think that's a big issue. So if Micah Parsons has, kind of a transcendent performance, the Cowboys win this football game. If Micah Parsons is minimized, I think the Cowboys don't have a chance.
So a lot of pressure on him, I see.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I agree with a lot of points you said, but I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to say Deebo Samuel, because as great as Micah Parsons has been this year, and he's been phenomenal, Deebo Samuel has had a historic NFL season this year. He's the only receiver in history that's had over 1,300 receiving yards and over 300 rushing yards in a season. I mean, that's just phenomenal. This is a guy he's a movable piece, just like I talked about a little while ago. He's an offensive weapon. Like, Dan, I'm not a big stats guy. I don't get into stats a whole lot. But, I mean, listen, there's a couple things that just jump out to me as far as Deebo Samuel is concerned. This is a guy that's averaging over 10 yards after the catch, meaning he catches the ball and then he gains another 10 yards after that. Yeah. That, to me, is mentality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's where when you talk about Deebo Samuel, you're talking about a guy that's a running back in a wide receiver body. When you're able to do things like that, and then he's third in the league when he's rushing the ball, third in the league in yard per carry when he's lined up as a running back. Yeah. So, this is a guy, you talk about eyes on Micah Parsons, and there are going to be a lot of eyes on Micah Parsons. There's going to be a lot of eyes from the Dallas defense. Where is Deebo Samuel? We need to find him, just like you alluded to when we were talking about in the last segment, decoy. You can do so many things with Deebo Samuel that's going to unlock other people in that offense.
I think Deebo Samuel is like our era's or our generation's like Roger Craig. Roger Craig back in the day, he was a guy that did everything. You want him as a pass catcher, great. You want him as a runner, great. It's very Marshall Faulk-ish as well when it comes to his ability to do both at such a high level. I mentioned it before. I think there's going to be opportunities when Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, is going to go Micah Parsons. You've got Deebo Samuel. I don't care where he goes. You've got Deebo Samuel. They're obviously going to be in man coverage in those situations, and that's why it's going to be fascinating to watch. I think both of those guys are going to have a tremendous impact on the football game, obviously. But if one of those guys has a more I use that word, transcendent performance, that's the team that's going to win the football game. If Deebo goes for over 150 plus yards all-purpose or 200 all-purpose yards, the 49ers are going to win. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have one of those, why did you or how did you just throw one of those interceptions, the 49ers will win that football game. But Micah Parsons could have one of those games where he has 15 tackles, two tackles for a loss, he could have a tremendous game and totally wreck the football game.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel sure is special. He's had 8 rushing touchdowns this season. That is double the total of the top 5 receivers who have finished each season since 2000. So pretty remarkable stat right there. But
thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.